It's a long one. It's the full 2-minute media availability from Leon Draisaitl. I think it's necessary to listen to the entire thing.
And I'll say, too, like, as we play it, leave your comments as we go, and we'll get to them as it progresses. But buckle in. We're just giving you the full thing because there's no need to skip anything.
Let's play it, Pat.
What do you ultimately think was the difference between you and John?
I don't know. We're just giving up too many goals. I don't know. Just can't defend. Penalty kill is not great. But there's many things that are part of it. It's just not good enough right now.
Tristan just sat here and said that he's got to be better. He's got to keep more pucks out of the net, give you guys a chance to win. I guess, what are your thoughts on that?
It goes hand in hand. Like we got to defend better. We got to make it easier on him, and then I'm sure he can be a little bit better too. It's a two-way street, but it starts with us in front of him, and then the game becomes a little bit easier for him. But I think there's saves that our goalies need to make at some point.
This is a really veteran team that's played a lot of important hockey. You're 58 games or whatever you're into this season, and you're still trying to find your defensive game. Can you, have we hit some critical mass here, do you think, coming into the spring?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Like, we're, just not consistent enough, and it just leaks too hard, to just like lollygag through games and try to get winning streaks going. And you need everybody. It starts with coaches, like everybody. Like you're never going to win if you have 4 or 5 guys going. And it starts at the top. We can be better. Our leaders can be better. And we'll take the break and regroup.
Do you think that stems from the fact that you guys have had so much success over the last couple of years that maybe...
No, we're a different team. We're not the same team. Like, we're not as good right now. We're not even close. Like, we need to understand that. Like, it's time. Obviously, there's a break now, but when we come back, we gotta get going.
Well, I think he just said everything everyone outside of the locker room is thinking. And if someone put it earlier, it might have been Lance, and if I'm wrong, my apologies. He just said the quiet part out loud. Oh, yeah. And I think it was all very necessary. And let's just start from the top. He obviously called out the goaltending. He called out the defense, too. I think that's a part that people like to skip over a little bit. He's like, we have to be better in front of them. Then they need to make the saves when we are better in front of them. And that's very fair. It's a very valid point. One thing I would like to point out from last night's game, just this is from Natural Stat Trick, the Oilers allowed 25 shots on net, and they had 39 themselves. At 5-on-5, Calgary had the better high danger chances, 13-12 last night. So I think that tells you a little bit of what Leon Draisaitl is pointing to. Is like, we're dominating teams, and obviously, like, the Oilers play a bit more. They push, obviously, a lot heavier because they have the puck. So that is going to spark some high-danger chances. But you do need saves from Jarry. And I found that yesterday's game, it wasn't even the high-danger chances he was allowing. Like, it was just the easy ones. Like, that fourth goal was bad.
He's getting beat cleanly. And it's been a theme here since, once again, I talked last night about how the first 2 games in one period of the Jarry era was absolutely fantastic. He gets banged up, and he just has not looked like the same guy. I'm happy that somebody on the team has finally said it. I was very vocal after Saturday's game. Everything Jarry said, totally accurate. But that was not the game to do it, because his play has not been at his own standard, or the standard that we need here for the Edmonton Oilers. And you could argue it's arguably gotten worse. And come on, man, Leon's got eyes. We see it with Jarry. He's over-sliding in his crease. He's falling down a lot. It just looks clunky. It just doesn't look right. And if he's seeing it, once again, we can get into the Jarry interview clip we have as well, I guess. Felt like there was a stark contrast in the difference from Tristan Jarry Saturday nights to last night's postgame. And once again, I think this break couldn't come at a better time for pretty much everybody on the Edmonton Oilers. So maybe Jarry, take a week in Cabo, get settled back in Edmonton or Sherwood Park, Alberta. Might be a park guy, but he's got to look in deep as well and take a look in the mirror here because, yes, once again, like you said, come on. I think we're finally here as Oilers fans that we can be aware. It isn't just specifically on a goaltender like we love to do to Stu or many of our former netminders and push them out of town, that the play in front of them does determine it. But I do think it is fair to say, and it's evident by one Leon Draisaitl, who I saw somebody in the chat said, give him the C for being so vocal about that. It feels different when it's Leon Draisaitl, Daddy Draisaitl, coming out to kind of discipline the boys. But you'd be blind to not see, as for the goalies right now, that Tristan Jarry has not been up to his standard lately.
No, he has not been. And he needs to come back with white pads and change things up a little bit.
Let's start there. Let's go from there.
Maybe an equipment change. I think that would be good. Because on Jarry, my goodness, we've seen him play well. Like as much as he's been battling this little stretch, he hasn't come to Edmonton and he didn't completely collapse immediately. It gradually just happened. He only shut out Vancouver like 2 weeks ago. And then all of a sudden since then, it's just been disastrous, I guess say, since the Pittsburgh game.
And I do feel like there's good stretches for Jarry. Like last night, a little bit shaky to start the game, but throughout the second and whatnot, he was dialed in. He was making some good stops side to side, pad down low, tip in front, scramble in front, but very similar to one Stuart Skinner. It feels like there's just these crucial back-breaking, maybe not errors is the way I want to say, but very deflating goals against that. You sit there and go, come on. And once again, we've also seen a small downturn in one Connor Ingram as well. So when you see it happening to both your goaltenders, I do think there is a direct correlation to the team in front of them. But we got to say it how it is. Leon just said it. We can say it. Jarry has not been good enough. And I do think, actually, this would be a good time, Pat. Can we take a listen to the Tristan Jarry clip as he spoke post-game about what he needs to do better for the Edmonton Oilers? Let's take a listen.
It's tough. I think I could have made some more saves. I think ultimately if I can keep that game at 2, we come out with a better outcome. I think I could have played better to start, and I think that'll be moving forward.
So you're playing behind a team that's trying to find its posture here, right? They're struggling to keep pucks out, not just you, the whole team. And the PK's not great. Is it difficult to find your game when everybody's trying to find their game, I guess?
No, I think it starts with me. I think I could be more accountable, and I think I could play better. I think if I play better and stand in there strong for these guys, I think we'll have some better outcomes. And I think it starts with me, and I think I just have to be better moving forward.
We'll see if he is.
Here's to hope.
Yeah, because we kind of need him to figure out his shit.
And like once last night, we showed that graphic earlier, he was only 0.67 goals saved below expected. So when he doesn't have that good of a performance, those numbers tell you that some of those chances that the Oilers are giving up are definitely ones that aren't maybe necessarily egregious. I just think we've sat here a lot already and gone, it's okay to ask your goaltender for a save. And Jarry's got to dial it in a bit here, folks, because right now, Game 1 of the playoffs, there's still so much time to go, but I am thoroughly in the Connor Ingram camp, which it's a whole further discussion to have. Was the answer right under your nose the entire time down in Bakersfield? And once again, we're not there yet. Jarry, still so much time to figure this out, but it is what it is right now.
There's a lot of things to unpack still from the Draisaitl stuff, but quickly let's get on to, I think he said one thing which is interesting to me. He said, we're not the same team. And they're obviously not. There's been a lot of changes to this team. I think a lot of personalities have been taken from the team, and a lot of quieter players, I guess you could say, have been thrown into the mix in terms of like Savoy obviously seems he's a rookie. He's not going to say too much. Lazar, I feel like he's just like the light guy in the room. Yeah. You got guys like Stasny.
Bonge ain't even playing. You're not listening to him.
Exactly. Frederick can't say anything. So there's stuff like that, and I would agree with Leon, but the coaching stuff, as we will.
One thing to add on to that, though, I do say there's a lack of Corey Perry. Like that message feels like last night, Leon saying that would have came 2 weeks ago from Corey Perry in a closed door. Once again, we don't know what happens behind the closed doors, but that feels like a problem that Corey Perry would nip in the bud pretty quickly there. So I like that Leon Draisaitl is the guy that's going to stand up publicly and say it how it is. As for the coaches.
The coaches. So Draisaitl obviously said in that clip as well that it starts with the coaches. Chris Knobloch, obviously, has been the head coach here for a couple of years. Paul McFarlane, and Mark Stewart, the three coaches for the Edmonton Oilers. I don't suspect that the Oilers are going to fire Chris Knobloch anytime soon. But the other part of the Draisaitl thing, which I thought was correct, and last night was damning, to say the least, is he said, paraphrasing a little bit, is that we can't just have 4 or 5 players going. Like, we need everyone going. And to me, that is directly him talking to the coaching staff, being like, figure it out. And they started it last night by spreading out. Nuge obviously was on the third line. Other wingers moved around a little bit. And then they just went right back to the old ways as soon as they started trailing in the game. Curtis Lazar played 4 minutes, 24 seconds. Mangiapane, 7:39, who started the game on the third line, by the way. Matthias Janmark, 5:32. Savoy, 10:52. Semensky, 9:23. Was there anybody else who was rather low? Brozovic was the next forward. So 5 forwards played less than, or just shy, just above in Savoy's case, of 10 minutes. And you expect to win hockey games on the regular basis that way. I think he called out Knobloch for that. I think he's looking directly at Stewart and being like, your penalty kills are horrendous. It's awful. It's inexcusable. And the broadcast keeps talking about it, and other people are talking about it too, not just the broadcast. I shouldn't call them out specifically, but just like, they don't have any speed anymore. So, okay, well, figure out what you've got. Just if you have to go back to a more traditional penalty kill of just like, win the face-off, glassing out. Don't win the face-off, then get in some damn lanes and block some pucks. Like, I feel like penalty killing isn't as complicated as it's being made to seem by the Oilers. And last night, the fact someone got behind them from a pass that came from basically the Calgary Flames goal line, got behind them on a clean breakaway, is unacceptable.
We saw
for
the other
a
night,
team.
Bouchard had, who was it that snuck in behind him? Joel Eriksson-Ek, I think that was the Minnesota game.
But it's just like, you were the odds-on favorite to win the Stanley Cup at the start of the season from Bet365. And now I don't know what they are, but they don't deserve to be where they are. They deserve to be significantly lower just based off their play alone. I don't think Knobloch is going anywhere, and I'm sure a lot of you would probably agree. But he needs to figure it out, and he needs to tighten things up in the sense of, this is my team. Like, you're the head coach. You've got to play these guys and show some trust in them. And it's ironic because the other day we talked about Draisaitl taking a 3-minute shift. It's like, okay, Leon, if you also think that, then trust in your teammates that they're going to come over the boards and also give you the same effort that you're going to give, but you're also not showing that trust. And that's where I want the entire mentality of this team to flip. That is it's a team game, not a Leon and Connor game.
Yeah, it's your star players as well have to practice what they're preaching as well in that moment. But, dude, you look at it last night. We've talked about it a lot. We talked to Jeff Merrick about it for like 15 minutes yesterday and the balance of playing your top 6 as opposed to your bottom 6. And last night, you look at it, McDavid, 26-30, Draisaitl, 25-27. And then Curtis Lazar can't even play 5 minutes. Janmark, 5.5. And I understand that those guys, you might not necessarily, track record would show you're not going to score many goals or win many games if those guys are playing significant minutes. But I thought, like, specifically last night, I kept calling it the most mail-it-in game of the entire season. And I understand it's wild to look at the box score. McDavid finished with 8 shots on goal. I don't think the top line had it rolling last night. I think McDavid's expected goals for percentage started in the 30s. Percentage of 31, I think it was, when I checked moneypuck.com. And it's weird because there's been so much conversation lately about the overplaying of the stars and how you need to spread all these things out. And it kind of felt like last night, Knobloch goes, no, I hear you. Let me double down even more and play these guys more, these guys even less. And it's a conversation. The Oilers need to adjust. They need to take it. Chris Knobloch spoke in his media avail after the game and said, used the phrase, paraphrasing, mini training camp here for the Edmonton Oilers. I call Nobby the king of adjustments for a reason. We've seen it during playoff series as well when he figures out the opposition. Something has to change here for the Edmonton Oilers, and we keep saying it. Nobby ain't the one who's going. You can't just keep firing the coach every 2.5, 3 years because there is a theme here with some of the DNA for the Edmonton Oilers. The part that I think will maybe get visited, I already hear the noise online and in the chat is, you talk about what areas are failing for the Oilers right now. The penalty kill, defending. Who is the man who is in charge of those 2 areas? One, Mark Stewart. So I think his seat might be getting a little bit hot as well. And also point out, remember when he joined the Oilers, took over the PK, and we were like, oh my God, here we go. This is the guy. He's going to solve everything. Time, flat circle, Liam. We started here.
Yeah.
It might be all the way back here again. And once again, I don't know what they're going to do over the next 3 weeks. I hope that everybody goes and spends 7 days in Cabo. But you come back. I hope, Nobby, no Cabo for you. You got to crush tape and make some adjustments. That'd be a tough look. Or you bring your iPad, you bring your laptop, beachside, poolside. I can at least understand that. But Liam, something's got to give here.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.